Coming live every Tuesday at 7 with Steve, Cat, Ryan, Amanda, and Eric. And the voice of NEW, Vince Berry. Hitting all the topics like a clothesline flurry. Turn up your speakers and hear them out. You can listen from your car, even on your couch. They too raw, who NXT? Handing out SmackDowns, follow on IG. Plus, it's sponsored by Tag Me a Date. Go to YouTube and sub now for every update. It's all wrestling here. No safe space. Now listen in. Time to hear from some of the greats.
It's the greatest night in the history of our great sport. The War Report is live. The War Report podcast brought to you by TagMeADate.com, the first, only, and free dating site exclusively for wrestling fans. I'm Tony Schiavone, and now here's your host, Vince the Prince Berry.
Oh, thank you, Tony. Coming down from the heavens. That was the best cameo I've ever bought, by the way. So,
I figured I couldn't figure out who to open with this week. So I was like, you know what? Let's bring back good old Tony Schiavone. I mean, at the end of the day, this was done literally, I think, a month or two before it was revealed that he was back in pro wrestling and joining AEW. And, so just very cool to have any kind of, figure from AEW right now.
Real small period of time where he was on Cameo. It was just a couple months, but
and we got him.
He only charged $20 at one point. I think he bumped his price up at one point, but like he made a killing because people were having him do all kinds of stuff. And like one guy, there's a video of it out there somewhere. He paid Tony Schiavone to just do a video saying every holiday, like happy birthday, Merry Christmas, Happy Halloween, whatever. But after each one, he had to say, "It's Sting."
I wouldn't have accepted the cameo. I don't care how much fucking money you're offering me. I wouldn't have even taken it. Fuck
With a straight face, Tony Schiavone goes, "Merry Christmas. It's Sting." Happy Halloween. It's Sting. And he just does it. He did it for 10 stupid holidays, Happy Memorial Day, whatever the fuck it was. You know what? Not that Memorial Day is stupid, but you know what I mean.
God bless him.
Paid him to do it, and he did it. So
God bless him.
But yeah, Tony's great. I'm glad we have that. I was looking. I don't know. I was going to get one from Thunder Rosa, but it's $60.
Oh my God.
I like Thunder Rosa, but I know others that are way worth 60 more than her. But I would pay Britt Baker $60 right now before I would pay.
Hers is a lot.
Well, it should be. She's the women's champion now.
She's the champ. She's the face of the division.
She's the Dr. D. She's great. Hey, so listen, before we get really, I don't even know. I do know where we should start, actually. Real quick. There's two things actually that I would like to open with, and then we can kind of dive into the week of wrestling. But first and foremost, the Patriot.
Yeah.
We did lose the Patriot, 59, I believe. So way too fucking young to be losing a guy who looked to be in phenomenal shape. I don't know. I do believe I read it was a heart attack. Obviously a severe one that, he wasn't able to survive, which just a damn shame. I was never the biggest Patriot fan when he showed up and came in periodically. I didn't really give a shit. It wasn't my but you don't want to see anyone lose their life, especially at such a young age.
I agree, man. He's Del Wilkes, for those of you who were not.
It got him so upset he walked off.
I know. But Del Wilkes was the original Patriot. Del Wilkes was also Trooper Del Wilkes. There was very early footage of him when he wrestles as Trooper Del Wilkes as a big baby face. He would beat the heel, and then he'd write him a ticket, give him the ticket after they were pinned. So very cool little gimmick there, kind of like what the $1 Million Man would do after he beat somebody. But Del Wilkes then eventually went on to become the Patriot. Worked all over the world as the Patriot, Japan, Mexico, et cetera, et cetera. But eventually, and this is where the controversy comes in, there's a guy named Tom Brandy, Salvatore Sincere, whatever you want to call him.
Salvatore Sincere.
And
That
this
was a very short-lived gimmick.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
claimed to have purchased the rights to the name and the gimmick, the Patriot, from Del Wilkes. And Tom Brandy has spent a very long time basically saying that he was, it's like when you say Doink is going to be at a show and it's just like some random guy with the face paint on. Tom Brandy's been doing that with the Patriot character for a very long time now. And again, claiming that he purchased it from him. Del Wilkes has come out several times that he was never paid by Tom Brandy, and that he always wished ill will upon Tom Brandy. And there's a podcast that someone's releasing. I forget who it was, but it's Del Wilkes' last podcast that he recorded a week before he passed away, and he was still talking shit about Tom Brandy in his last podcast. So something to look out for. But Del Wilkes was a big baby face. He the most on-scene thing for somebody who was a younger wrestler you might know, but in 1997, leading up to the Montreal Screwjob, they needed a baby face to come in and feud with Bret the Hitman Hart and the Hart Foundation. Not only did he lead Survivor Series team in the USA versus Canada Survivor Series team, he also faced Bret, and I believe it was In Your House Canadian Stampede. I don't remember the exact pay-per-view, but the Patriot was over. The Patriot used Kurt Angle's theme before Kurt Angle did, a good few years before that.
Yep.
And he was, if you wanted to be a babyface and you wanted to wrestle like a babyface and have the connection that you had with fans, he was one of those guys, man. And 59 is way too young to be taken from us, but I know he was also of that generation that partied hard and took performance-enhancing gimmicks and such to make.
I was going to say, I believe
bigger.
he was one of the guys that used to partake in the steroids back in the day, too.
Unfortunately, that does come back to bite you, and we've seen it a lot. And he's one of that generation, and now it seems like it's different. People are still on like Brian Cage is gas to the gills, but like it seems different. It seems a lot more regulated. It seems like people are doing it in a way that isn't gonna hopefully permanently affect them like this to the point where you pass away at 59 years old. But Del Wilkes, yeah, the Patriot, whatever you want to.
It's very sad. I mean, we last week or not last week. I apologize, I wasn't there. The week before, we mentioned the tragedy that Paul Orndorff is currently going through, and that whole thing with the video and his son and
right
all that, and now
to that as well.
right. And then, of course, we get the Patriot. And then, of course, now coming all over social media, we have to send our thoughts and prayers to Terry Funk and the Funk family, because apparently now he's in an assisted living home with dementia, which
This is killing me.
I have personally seen people from the very beginning of dementia all the way to the end. And it is just absolutely horrific. That's something that will obviously affect his memory, and he will not be able to remember that he is a hardcore wrestling icon. Had balls to do shit that nobody else would do outside of Mick Foley, for the most part anyway.
Of an age than most people do that stuff.
Well, and that's the thing too. I mean, I remember seeing him in a hardcore match at an indie show, and he was already like, fucking, I don't know.
Yeah,
He had to have been damn near 70 years old, and he was still taking crazy bumps and doing crazy shit, and he was just one of a kind. So to know that now he's going through that, it really sucks, man.
I saw him at both ECW events at the Hammerstein Ballroom when they were doing that and everything, and he had to have been easy late 50s, early 60s, and he was keeping up with everybody. You never would have known anything. You would never convince that man that he wasn't the same age as some of the people he's competing with.
Even when he came back and he went to the WWE and he paired with Foley and he was Chainsaw Charlie.
Chainsaw Charlie against the New Age Outlaws. Yep.
Even Chainsaw Charlie then, and I don't even remember what fucking year that was, but even then he was old.
Yeah, 1998.
I honestly think that's one of the reasons why they made him wear the fucking the mask or whatever you call it, because it looked more like a garbage bag.
He wanted to do something. He wanted to do something different on that one.
I loved it. I absolutely loved Chainsaw Charlie. I loved everything about it.
For a fact that it was 1998 because I actually got a beer can thrown at me when the New Age Outlaws came out in the Rangers jerseys. I took off my Stone Cold sweatshirt and had a Rangers jersey on underneath it, and I had beer cans thrown all over at me at that. So I know exactly that it was because I was there with the garbage dumpster that was at Nassau Coliseum. So I could tell you exactly when that happened.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
But
yeah, man. So the good news is on these updates, we don't mean to bum you guys out right at the beginning of our podcast. There's a picture of Paul Orndorff that was recently put out from 4th of July.
Drinking a beer.
Yeah. He got a shave and a haircut, drinking a beer, looked to be in better spirits. Now, here's the thing. As somebody who's had family members suffer from Alzheimer's and dementia, there are good days and there are bad days, and it's very possible that was a very bad day for Paul Orndorff and that he has better days and middle days, and then some days he has really bad days.
Sometimes it even comes down to the time of the day.
Yep,
you know, they call it sundowning, I think, or something like that. Where
there's all kinds of things that nutrition, the different things that they could have had in their diet that day could affect it. Just their stress level can affect. There's a lot of different things that can affect somebody with Alzheimer's or dementia, and it's very, he could have had an episode that set him off and created that viral video that we saw. Fortunately, it seems like he's in better shape now. Same thing with Terry Funk. Don Morocco, I believe, was the first one to come out on Twitter and say that Terry has dementia. There was a statement released by the Funk family. I haven't had time to read it yet, but I've also heard from two different sources here, one being Rob Feinstein of RF Video from the old ECW days, and one being Tommy Dreamer, that they both spoke to Terry Funk today. He's doing well. He's in good spirits. He's still with it. Again, everybody has good days and bad days, and it's possible Don Morocco had interacted with Terry when he had a bad day. And these guys were interacting with Terry when he had a good, coherent day. Because, there are times when we don't know enough about the disease that is Alzheimer's and dementia. Disease is, and they can remember things from 30 years ago, 40 years ago, like it happened just now. And then the next day you could talk to them and they won't even remember your name. And it's just, It's heartbreaking. And so far, it seems like these guys still have their good days and their faculties about them, at least to some capacity. And like you said, Terry Funk, not just a hardcore wrestling legend, a legit shoot style wrestler, him and Dory Funk and their dad. And the Funk family was a legendary family of legitimate wrestlers before he started doing the hardcore thing. And then he had a career resurgence as middle-aged and crazy Terry Funk, which just, as Mick Foley said, became damn old Terry Funk, still doing the same stuff, which was great. And as somebody who's had multiple chairs thrown at him by Terry Funk and has taken a couple of Terry Funk slaps to the face, that old man, I don't care how old he is, he hits hard as a motherfucker.
And you loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
I wasn't happy at the moment because he's not one of those people that's going to say, hey, kid, when we get out there, I'm going to rough you up a little bit. Like, if he did that, I kind of would have been okay with it. But he smacked me, and I was like, shit. And then the second one came because I didn't sell the first one because I was surprised the first one came in. Like, if he had, at least I would have taken a bump on the first one if I knew he was going to hit me the second goddamn time. Holy shit. A couple of years before that, and I think this is what preempted this. A couple of years before that, we had an event at Mid-Hudson Civic Center in Poughkeepsie where they used to film Raw, and Funk was out there. He's going to wrestle Jerry Lawler for the 8,000th time. Oh, by the way, the match that I got slapped in, Jerry Lawler versus Terry Funk. So there's a pattern here. So a couple of years before that, we're in Poughkeepsie. Before the show, I go up to Terry. I said, Terry, nice to meet you. I'm the ring announcer for this evening. When I introduce you, what music do you want to come out to? And he goes, I want to come out to Desperado because that's his fucking song. Desperado by the Eagles. I go up to the promoter of the show, whose name I will not say to protect the innocent, and he says, well, we don't have the rights to Desperado, so why don't you just go on YouTube and find his old WWE stock music that they used when he would wrestle there?
Oh, no.
Use that. So we use that in this generic country rock instrumental. And FYI, I got a chair thrown at me about approximately 10 minutes later. But when Terry Funk comes down to the ring, he fucking motors to the ring. He goes, "Where the fuck's Desperado?" Like right in my face. Like, "Where the fuck's my music?" Like he's yelling at me, and I'm like, he doesn't have the rights to the song. I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, that started my rocky relationship with Terry Funk. But God bless the old fucking bastard.
How amazing is that?
You deserved every slap you got then in his book.
Where's Desperado? He's so fucking mad.
All right, so I think we've spent enough time. We'll of course keep you updated as we get more information about both Funk and Orndorff. You know, as more information comes in, and of course any new things that come out, you'll get the information right here. It seems that every single week, right after the show, things start to happen, and and then we have something to talk about the following Tuesday. So it just winds up working out really well for us, guys. Where do we begin outside of that? Should we go with SmackDown first and then go into Raw, or?
Well, yeah, because SmackDown. Well, I don't know how much else happened on SmackDown that was interesting, but something interesting happened on SmackDown because we had the return of somebody who we thought was not coming back.
Yeah.
And that's very interesting.
And then loses.
Right?
Loses.
That's the WWE, kind of MO.
Yeah, but you know what, though? It was a Fugazi finish. It was the tight pull. So it doesn't, really make Zelina look, any which way. At the end of the day, everyone was just very surprised and I'm sure happy that she chose to come back to WWE. I have to assume, and of course this is just an assumption because who the fuck am I? But I have to assume it came down to money because right. I can't believe that AEW did not make an offer the minute that she was released. So WWE not only brought her back, they apparently issued her an apology as well. So it had to have been the apology and it had to have come down to money. That's my guess. Or she knows that Alistair's going to be staying and decided she wants to stay with him. So and again, all assumptions. I know nothing, but my gut tells me that if she's staying, I think WWE is going to bring Alistair back. And if not, then God bless. Go to AEW. He'll be a star. Right. So either way, it works for me. But I always like to see the couples, kind of stay together. I feel bad for Charlotte and Andrade at this point. Their schedules.
Fine.
No, but it's still, of course they are. But it sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just interesting because the whole thing was like. So she posted all these tweets about supporting unionization and this, that, and the other thing. And then all of a sudden when she got rehired, those tweets have been deleted. So she doesn't seem to be so far on the she's not.
Well, I'm sure that was part of the deal.
Right. But what I'm saying is it's one of those, like, as I read the results, Zelina Vega came back. Oh, she lost. Oh, she deleted those tweets about unionization. And I could just hear the $1 Million Man's music in my head. Going, everybody has a price for Vince McMahon. Monday. And that's all I could think of is like, she spun the wheel and made the deal, man. More power to her for getting paid, but still kind of like, it's always weird when you see somebody, they have problems with an employer. They leave the company. They're talking about unionization and all this other stuff. And then all of a sudden they're just back like nothing happened. It's like, what happened these last couple months? Where you been? Where's I don't know. As we're talking about SmackDown, I guess the other thing we should bring up that just came in the news today, which Uso? Is it Jimmy? Got popped.
Yeah, it was Jimmy Uso.
Jimmy Uso.
0.205.
And the 0.205 live jokes have already spread across the internet. Jimmy Uso, DUI 0.205, which is really high, isn't it?
Extremely.
It's like, isn't it point? What is it? What is even? I'm sorry, I've never been pulled over for DUI.
Neither have I, but it's more. But standard is 0.017.
0.017.
Yeah,
so he was 10 times that?
Yeah.
0.205?
And it's in Florida. Florida, they hit you hard. And they only pulled him over a reason originally because he was doing 50 and a 35. So it went from speeding to finding out he's.
Well, no, it went to. It's not. They don't just. It's unfortunately not one of those deals where they go, "Hey, this is a buy one get one. We're going to wipe out."
Exactly.
You're getting the speeding ticket and you're getting the DUI.
Yeah.
He's been arrested, from what I can tell from my research and reading people's comments,
About 5 times. Yeah, that sounds about 5 times.
In 2019, the charge got dropped somehow for one of them, but I don't know what the rest of his driving record looks like. I mean,
but the 2019 one was the charge that had to do with both him and Naomi being in the car when they were fighting. The domestic charges on the two of them got dropped, not the drinking charges.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, they both squashed whatever that kind of like a Rich Swann thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They scratched whatever that situation was, but he still, like I said, and that one was in Florida too. So
of course the backstage, the rumblings are people backstage are upset, which they should be. He's involved in the biggest storyline that they have going on SmackDown and on WWE in general. The Roman Reigns thing is always going to be the biggest story, and
he just came back.
Yep. Oh, he's the one. Okay, I was just.
He hasn't even. Yeah, no. It's not the one. It's not the one that's been, the good little second, right hand bitch or whatever.
Right.
It's been.
This is nobody's bitch.
Yeah.
I wonder if he said that when he was being pulled over. I'm nobody's bitch.
Oh,
sorry, I can't help it.
You call my advisor Paul Heyman.
He's like, yeah. Before he even says, he says, "Oos, take the phone." He hands it to the cop. He's my client.
Exactly.
He is a consigliere to the head of the table.
The
tribal chief, the champion. And they're like, "Sir, are you a lawyer?" He's like, "My father is."
No, but I play one on TV.
Yeah, but his dad's a lawyer.
Yeah.
I don't think he's licensed in anymore. He might even be dead. But Hayden's dad was a lawyer. So at least that's where kind of he gets it from, this whole gimmick. But yeah, it's unfortunate. First of all, obviously the guy has some personal problems involving alcohol. We've seen, unfortunately, and I hate to bring this up, we see that addiction is a problem in their family.
Yeah.
Yoko's, I mean, it is this, and this is I'm not making light of it. This is a hereditary thing.
Right.
The impulse control and all of that's passed along through generations. Yokozuna had bad impulse control, which is why he was 500, 600 pounds when he died. And
so did Umaga.
Umaga had addiction issues. I think those were more prescription drug issues. And then now this is alcohol. So, I mean,
it's a control. I think even Rikishi has admitted his own battles in the past and everything too.
Yeah, well, he was alive, and working wrestling during the time where those guys, like I said, partied hard and then did everything else on the side. So, it's you hope to see him get his life cleaned up. You wonder if this means that he's going to get written off with one of those power bombs through the table, or like a Superman punch where he gets choked out and taken off TV. I don't know how they're going to address this.
It sucks that it happened, obviously, but the timing could not have been any worse storyline wise.
Right. And not to make light of a real world issue.
No, of course not.
This is the equivalent of somebody getting a DUI and then everybody else that in your office has to deal with the fallout.
Right.
It's like, oh, well, they're in jail. What are we going to do? We have to take over his responsibilities. So what do? Do we get him, do we have to write him out for a little while? If he comes back, does he come back and get involved in this storyline?
But here's the issue though, like you said, they have a wellness policy.
Yeah.
For all that stuff and everything. And I get it. It's more for the drug testing and everything like that. But they fired Jeff years ago.
Oh, yeah.
For less charges. Jeff already got more charges after he left the WWE.
Oh, yeah.
Than the charges when he was in the WWE. So when are you going to, it's kind of like, oh, it's one of the Anoys. It's Usos. Okay.
Right. That's the thing. Do they just give him the old Uso pass?
Yeah,
which they listen. And I'm not saying this to be controversial. There are certain people who get favor in that company. Look
absolutely.
at Randy Orton. If he was anybody else, would have been
Forget it.
fired.
Of course.
Fired. Shawn Michaels was given second, third, fourth, fifth chances.
Mhm.
He's been born again more than the fucking Duggar family. Like,
But less charges.
yes, also less charges. But there are people who get a pat, and even Roman Reigns got popped for some performance enhancing stuff. And
Yep.
not that he didn't get his strikes, but just like Randy Orton, eventually
So did
his
John
strikes
Cena.
fell off. Yep, John Cena. People get favor in this company when you're in the top of the card, when you're related to, especially related to the Samoan dynasty, which is a real thing, folks. Goes back a very long time. The Samoans and the McMahon family, going back to probably Jesse McMahon, if not Vince Sr.
Easy, yeah.
There's been a long relationship between them and Freddie Blassie. Freddie Blassie was part of the original Gold Dust Trio, I believe, with McMahon and Toots Mondt, and that was the start of it way back when. So there's a relationship with this family. You saw it tested at the WrestleMania where Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns had their main event and Seth Rollins cashed in, and you saw how the family responded to that, and they didn't take very kindly to it. Now it seems like things are a little bit better with them, obviously with everybody being over and having a chance, but this just throws a big old wrench into their plans.
Yeah, and like I said, it makes the timing, it just, not digging it.
No, it's not great, man.
What else happened on SmackDown now that I think of it?
I don't know. I really don't know. I didn't watch any, I didn't watch Raw or SmackDown. Not that I could sit through Raw.
I watched Raw last night, but let's try and stick with Steve's wavelength here and see what else happened on SmackDown.
Sure. While you're doing that, I'll pull up. I'll wait for one of these photos. I want to see if I can share video file. Will it only let me share? It only let me share videos. That's interesting.
Okay, July 2nd, SmackDown. Here we go. Okay, well, Edge was in the match with Jimmy Uso.
Oh.
A picture of him with a lead pipe next to his face. I missed that part.
I guess Edge afterward choked him. I think it's a part
Yeah.
of it's one of those supports with a chair from the middle of a chair.
Right. Big E did qualify for the Money in the Bank.
Oh, yes. That's good.
So he's in the Money in the Bank match now. He did.
He should
Apollo Crews.
win the Money in the Bank and
I
win
agree.
the championship.
Yeah, so Big E and Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin apparently are they doing the old, remember when DDP had all of his shit repossessed?
Mhm.
W in like 94, 95.
Mhm.
Are they doing that with Baron Corbin now?
Yeah, he was initially starting to be introduced as King Corbin, then he took it off and goes in the mic. The man formerly known as King Corbin. It was like, ooh, that hurts.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
But at least they're doing something with him because he's so fucking bland.
I know. Bianca Belair and Bayley will have an I Quit match at Money in the Bank.
No, I heard. Is there a hair stipulation in this match? Is somebody getting their hair cut?
Don't recall that.
Okay.
It doesn't say that. The hair match was actually an idea that I think you had.
Yeah, I think a hair match would have been cool. I saw comments online too, people talking about if they're going to have a stipulation, maybe do
Kevin
a hair
Owens
match.
and Sami Zayn put on one hell of a match yet again.
Last man standing, right?
Yep. As usual, those two can, like, you know when people say they could sing the phone book, those two can do anything.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And we have Liv defeated Zelina Vega, which I still don't understand.
Well, it's the old welcome back to the company.
Welcome back.
It's really like it just seems like one of those things. You quit, they sign you back for less money, and then they job you out. It just seems like it's too fitting.
And then the man formerly known as Otis, because I don't even think that's Otis anymore, he defeated Angelo Dawkins.
So Francis from Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
Yes! Pee-wee, listen to reason. Listening to reason.
Oh, man. We lost everybody under the age of like 30.
Okay, so we could do it better. You're gonna lose, because he played Stu well as an adult. But yes, you are so right. He looks just like that guy.
What up,
Steve,
Steve?
you're back.
I don't know what the fuck happened. I'm so fucking angry right now.
Oh no, here we go.
I'm sitting here, I'm in the middle of saying something. All of a sudden, I get this really loud buzzing, like I have to throw the headphones off. My screen goes black and it says, error, must restart immediately. Next thing I know, the whole fucking thing starts rebooting.
Oh.
And you know, my computer takes forever and a day. Then it looked like the world was coming to an end outside. It got dark in a matter of seconds and rained like a motherfucker. So I apologize, but yes, I'm back. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. That match was absolutely fucking great, as it always is.
Yep.
Kevin Owens, man, he took a fucking beating.
Yeah.
But so well done. I'm loving the whole deal with Shinsuke. I love Boogs.
Yep.
Now Boogs, you know when Shinsuke does that leg thing in the corner? You know, the New Day, if Xavier's on the outside, he does the fucking... So now he's guitar riffing to the kicks now. Like, he's getting more involved. I love the whole thing. And yeah, the repo shit, I think, is hilarious. They're definitely, you know, listen, we're renewing some shit, but at the end of the day, it's hilarious. He came out, he wasn't clean shaven, he was kind of ruggedy looking,
yeah,
like this and that.
They're doing something with him, so hey, you know.
Well, right. So I'm happy. I like the whole dynamic. I like what's going on over there.
And Pat McAfee delivered yet again.
Dude. When you have to watch him. It's just amazing. Like, he's such a fucking fan when he commentates, and that's what I love about him.
Yep.
I mean, when Shinsuke's he's standing on the table, he's air guitaring, he's going fucking ape shit. During the Kevin Owens Sami Zayn match, he was standing most of it, like freaking the fuck out. Like, it's just it's awesome. It makes you invested in what's going on.
I can't wait for Eric to be back on the show for you guys to argue about that.
That is one thing we will never fucking. I don't understand. And he said, to be fair, he went and he watched some shit on YouTube, and he said he still drives him. I don't fucking get it. I don't.
I'm going to be sitting through SummerSlam with him at Bob's house, so I will convert him before the night's over.
Oh my God, you got to give us his reactions to this.
Oh, I'm live watching that shit.
That's great. Oh my God.
I don't
streaming that shit because I am going to be right in his face, like him.
He is so fantastic, so fantastic.
I can't wait to see him in front of a live crowd.
Yeah.
The
crowd's gonna like him too.
He's gonna jump in the crowd and start fist bumping people
I
and
could see him
shit.
like crowd surfing or something.
Yeah.
Now, Steve, because you were offline, was there anything that you wanted to chime in about regarding the USO DUI, another trip to the USO penitentiary?
It's part of me kind of gets it, right? He was on the show for so long. He probably drank a lot. Because he had nothing else to fucking do. He has obviously had a drinking problem. This is nothing new. This is his second one in a year, and I think 5 total in a few years. And it's significantly over the limit. They said they did a field sobriety. He failed the whole fucking thing. They had no choice but to bring him in. Apparently, from what I'm hearing, WWE officials are pissed. Like, they're not happy about it at all. Obviously, they don't want that kind of publicity for a public show that's on Fox. And
we were talking about it's the worst timing for this whole gimmick, this whole thing.
Well, right. I mean, he's finally getting the main event. He's getting pushed. He's in the main event story. The whole Samoan dynasty is one of my favorite things, and to see that it's finally all coming together, and I really hope that this doesn't derail it and that they don't punish him for it, because I want to see. I mean, listen, as much as I love Edge and I love his intensity and I love what he's bringing to the table right now, I still have to go with Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank. I don't see Roman losing, and I think I need to see in the end all of them standing there together with Heyman. Both
It might
Us.
not, because he's not going to be there after this.
Well, like I said, I'm hoping he doesn't get punished. I hope punishment enough is the fact that he had to go to jail again, and I'm sure he's going to have a hefty fine. I don't know. It sucks. He's a grown ass man. He's in a great position right now, and he potentially fucked it up. And this is not the first time. So
now I know we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. We mentioned Money in the Bank. Obviously, it seems like if they wanted to pull the trigger on Edge winning the title, they would have done it at WrestleMania. They didn't do it. We're not rehashing. We're just restarting this feud. He came back from injury. Edge did, but we're coming back from the alleged injury.
Here's my other thing, though.
Yeah.
Here's my other thing with that. If the rumors are true, and they're able to make this happen, Survivor Series is around the corner. And if they're going to do the Rock Roman, Roman's got to have the title.
Right. Yeah.
Or does he need the title? I mean, I guess the only way he's truly considered the head of the table is by being the champion, I guess.
I get, but here's the thing. What if
that should be big enough where you don't need the title necessarily to
right. What if Edge loses to Roman Reigns, but afterwards, because he's Edge, hits him with a spear, and then whoever wins the Money in the Bank comes out and pins Roman Reigns. Roman's not the champion anymore, but he still hasn't been legitimately beaten for the title.
Well, now that's interesting. They won't think that way.
No.
But that's very interesting.
I know what you mean. It's they don't want Roman. Roman shouldn't take a loss if they're playing. Oh, Ryan, why are you poking the bear?
Shut up, Ryan. This motherfucker.
I don't know. The other thing I was thinking, because I was talking about Money in the Bank and Big E qualified. I was telling Kat before he came on, Big E should win this fucking Money in the Bank and win one of the world titles.
That would be great to see Big E as a champ. Lord knows he deserves it. I mean,
if he won the Money in the Bank, he could move to Raw and get back with the New Day, and then you have your New Day helping Big E against the Hurt Business Bobby Lashley thing.
Okay, but wait. Pause that.
Yeah.
The draft is coming up right after that.
Also true.
Kofi Kingston's going against Bobby Lashley on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Kofi wins. Big E's got the belt, the Money in the Bank.
Oh, and then you do New Day.
And he deflects. He goes to Raw. Kofi, Big E.
Oh my God. That could be something else.
Imagine him trying to get his first drop is by taking it off of Kofi.
Oh my God, that would be. Now here's the only thing that Speaking of the Roman Reigns Rock situation, we have potentially a Bobby Lashley Brock Lesnar situation that needs to be resolved before anybody else. I know, but that's the match Bobby Lashley re-signed with WWE in order to get. So if he wants it, and Brock, they can make it out.
They're already somewhat teasing it because there's been tweets, taking shots at Brock saying he's afraid of Bobby, this and that. So they're putting feelers out there. I mean, listen, we all know with Brock Lesnar, it all comes down to money. How much are you going to fucking pay me to do it? And if he's happy with the number, he'll do it. He doesn't give a fuck other than money. I mean, that's how he's always been. And listen, God bless you. He gets paid.
He's figured it out, man. Maximizing profits and minimizing the amount of time you actually have to fucking work. No complaints, man. If I could do the same thing, if I could command the same price for one match, I would do it too. But anyway, moving on from SmackDown, we should probably move on to Raw, which leads me to my first image that I'm going to share.
Hold on. I want you to put the pause on your image for 1 second.
Okay.
Because with Raw, I want to give you some kudos.
Oh,
and I firmly believe that somebody is listening to our show.
Uh-oh, what do you mean?
I want to fast forward quickly to the horrific match with Eva Marie and Tulip Dewdrop.
Dewdrop.
Whatever. and Shayna and right that whole fucking fiasco. Did you notice that at one point? Oh, you were gonna pull it. I love that. Did you notice?
Ryan made the Dewdrop Pokemon card, everybody. We'll put
That's
that up on
hilarious.
Wikipedia.
Did you notice that they did exactly what you said would be their finishing move, where they did the belly squash?
Yep.
And I was like, "Holy shit!" Vince called it. Now, obviously, it didn't lead to a pin. But I thought of you, and I was like, "Wow, I got to make sure I remember to bring that up on the show because that was fucking great." But she still sucks. She still sucks.
Yeah. Oh no, she's awful, and I think they know she's awful. Maybe she's just gonna be a manager.
Even the way now she says her name bothers me.
Yeah.
Where she
And
does the whole Marie.
Oh, Marie!
Oh my fucking god! I want her to get
Sounds
through.
like Charmel.
I want to see her go through like 10. I want them to redo the Lana table storyline with Eva Marie. Every week she should go through a table.
Okay.
So, but go ahead. You can start with Raw now. I just wanted to get that out of the way.
I think they should recreate the Green River Killer storyline where somebody just chops her up and throws her in a lake. Anyway,
I'm good with that too.
I'm perfectly okay with that.
Sorry, everybody. That was really anti-woman.
Is it? I'm okay with it. You know, still, girl here. It's okay. Is it bad that I'd rather listen to Lily than listen to her?
Now, is that still a thing? They're still doing this goddamn doll? Or have we not seen the doll?
Didn't have Lily last night or anything like that, but I'm just saying in general, I think I would rather be waiting for
Last
Lily.
I heard, she's in timeout,
Right,
and
Yeah.
I think because they know now that they're going back to a live crowd, that's probably going away.
Right. Now, what's the deal with we had like our Walmart brand Avengers with what was it? Naomi, Asuka, Nikki, and Spooky Girl. I can't say her name, otherwise my Amazon is gonna go off. But you know who I'm talking about.
Why don't you put it on mute before you go on the air?
I should. But I was thinking about that. I probably should do that. But anyway, so we had our superhero squad out there. Nikki's outfit looks fine. The mask, I think they didn't paint around her eyes, which makes it look better. But the mask is still horrendous. Like, they really need to do a take 2 on that mask. That's really
Pretty bad when in the ring that Nia's isn't the worst gear.
Speaking of Terry Funk, all I can see, I apologize in advance, Nia Jax. Every time I see Nia Jax's outfit, I just hear Terry Funk calling Mick Foley saddle ass. Saddle ass? You got a big saddle ass, right? And because I don't know why, it just looks like a saddle on the side of her fucking.
It does. Those little. I don't know what the hell the point.
Because they want her to have saddle ass. God damn it, forever. Her hole, forever hole. I really sorry, Terry.
Oh, because it's Desperado.
Forever. I don't know. I hate goofing off, but I don't know what the fuck is going on with Raw. It seems like it's just spinning in circles.
Well, let's see what else
I
happened.
didn't think this week was so terrible. I still love all right. So I heard your comments last week,
Oh, you watched the show,
Vince.
Hey,
I listened back, and I heard your comments about my bro. And
I told you Steve was gonna call. Was gonna comment if you ever.
I heard that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I definitely had to address the things that you said because once again, even this week on Raw, he's the one in that Miz TV segment that climbed to the top of the ladder so he could say, "Boy, am I high!"
No, I'm really
And
high.
I thought that was fucking great, and I'm thinking that's exactly what Vince was talking about. And I don't give a fuck what you say, sir. I think it's fucking great every single time. I love it.
I'm not saying it's not funny. I'm just saying
It's hilarious.
I don't want him to be the same thing as Rob Van Dam, where they're like, "Oh, we can't take this guy seriously because of the bro dude stuff."
Listen, at the end of the day, RVD became champion, bro.
Yeah. Then he lived the gimmick a little too hard and fucked it up.
Well, right. I have a very bad feeling that this RK Bro thing is coming to an end very quickly. And I'm hoping that's not true because I really wanted to see this go somewhere, maybe have a tag title run, and then, separate with Orton turning on him as usual. Because, that's just what we would expect. Although it would be great to have Riddle be the heel turn, switch it up a little, but I'm forecasting very far in advance.
He could be like up top, down low, and then he hits him with the bro knee, and he's like, "Too slow, bro."
Oh God.
Up top, down low, too slow, bro. No, it's awful. Yeah, no, RK Bro is. I don't mind the idea because, Randy. The great part about it is Randy is so annoyed by it too. So that's why it works.
Right.
We're right.
But he's dealing with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, except for when he didn't answer his text messages or whatever. I don't know what that.
True.
But maybe they're not going to just blow through this one. Maybe they're actually going to let it play out and, like you said, give him a tag team title run or something, so they can. I think having the tag team title run as little as they care about the tag team titles now would help this establish the RK Bro thing even more, make you think that maybe they're not going to split up or whatever.
I mean, they're already doing merchandise and shit, so...
Yeah. Well, they put out Y2AJ shirts for exactly one day.
True.
Yeah.
But no, it would be nice if it stretched out to where maybe their big moment together as a team is at SummerSlam, and then after SummerSlam is when the tension starts and you get to like Survivor Series or whatever October's pay-per-view is going to be this year because they moved Hell in a Cell. And just kind of stretch it out. I'm all for them if they're able to make a storyline last. What I don't want to see is just a bunch of rematches in order to make a storyline last. You can take guys and put them against different opponents and make it fresh. So, I'm all for it, man. Anything to make that fucking 3-hour slog of a show any better. What else happened? I mean, Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley and MVP lost to the New Day. That was the main event.
That was the main, and that's all leading up to our not Hell in a Cell, Money in the Bank main event.
Right. Let's see. Drew McIntyre, Jinder Mahal.
Oh yeah, what the fuck? They fired the Bollywood boys. Now Jinder Mahal is back. He stole the sword.
Yes, Claymore.
Repo, man. Just everything's getting stolen. The crown's getting stolen.
Let's see. Repo.
So, yeah, I mean,
we just did it again. We just went back way. Everyone below a certain age is just like, what the did they just do?
Yeah, they don't even have any. But I don't know where what are we doing with Drew against Jinder?
Well, that had to do with backlash from Jinder not qualifying for the Money in the Bank.
But I could just all right.
The highlight of that is Corey Graves saying, and now it's just a one-man band. That was actually pretty funny.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, now it's a one-man band. Poor Heath, he has kids. Yeah, it's just they were in a comedy jobber group 10 years ago, and they both accidentally became world champion, and now we're supposed to. I don't know. Drew is still at such a high point, being a top level guy, that feuding with Jinder makes him feel less like they should really choose his opponents more carefully. What do you think, Steve? I just think did Steve get?
Did we lose him again?
Lose him?
No, I'm trying to.
Okay, I was just making sure because your picture was.
The picture's not on, so we couldn't tell.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
We don't want to know what you're doing. It's okay.
Right? Yeah, no.
I don't know. I don't know how I want to answer the question.
Well, what do you think of Drew feuding with Jinder, does that build up Jinder to be a big deal, or does that just make Drew seem like he's back down to
No,
mid-card?
Jinder. Listen, Jinder. Fucking Christ. Jinder Mahal has never been, in my opinion, relevant ever.
Right.
Even when they made him champion.
WWE champion.
Oh yeah.
Jinder Mahal.
Listen, they made him champion because they wanted to get their shit up in India, so they made him champion. That's the reality.
No
So
lies.
was he listen, he's a great heel. I don't think he's bad in the ring. He's put together like a motherfucker. He does his gym work, whatever. He just never did anything for me. Like I could give a shit less if he's there or if he's not. The whole idea of automatically he comes back after not seeing him for a year and you throw him in with McIntyre, like, okay, the one-man band, who gives a shit? Nobody cared then. Nobody cares now. The whole thing, I think, is filler. It makes no fucking sense to me. I don't know.
I didn't know how he wanted to answer the question. I think you pretty much nailed it.
Well, I mean, I don't want to be a dick. Like, I appreciate the guy. He just, he does nothing for me.
Yep.
And he's not going to be a world champion again. It's not happening. Maybe if they bring back ECW.
Oh God.
Oh man. He'd have to beat Ezekiel Jackson for the title. Did you notice, Steve, that the minute you started talking about Jinder Mahal, Kat had to turn off her camera because she was yawning?
Shit, you guys saw that? Sorry.
Well,
Listen,
it happens when you start talking about Jinder Mahal.
I can't at all be insulted by that because I completely understand.
Not to be rude. Sorry.
Oh no, it's Jinder fucking Mahal. Like that's just my point. Like it just,
yeah.
So
Steve, I have one more thing to share because this is something that will pertain to. We talked about this earlier. This was a picture shared by WWE NXT champion Karrion Kross's official verified Facebook page.
Oh God.
So here we go. It was an edit made by this Karrion Kross era Instagram account. Oh, let me put it back up. Sorry. Karrion Kross era Instagram account. They added the Kross 2024, but I looked at this. It looks like, I don't know if these are Photoshops. Those look like not, well, maybe they are. But anyway, this was shared with some verbiage that made it seem like Karrion Kross is coming to the main roster with this quasi-political gimmick, which seems ill-timed. What do you think, Steve? This is another. He's making the face.
I don't like it. I will fucking riot. I will do whatever. I think this is bullshit.
But why? So here's the thing.
I don't understand. Don't fucking understand why you have something over on NXT that really works well. Really well. Everything from the entrance to the pairing of Kross and Scarlett to how they portray said entrance to how he wrestles his matches and dominates them and becomes your fucking champion. There is no reason to bring them to the main roster to not only split them, to not only put them back together and possibly do this fucking shit and not the shit that they do on NXT. I swear to fucking God, if this is how he debuts on Raw or SmackDown, I will turn the channel. I cannot be. Nope. I encourage everybody to do the same. They're gonna fucking ruin him. They're gonna fucking ruin him, and they're gonna fucking ruin her if they do this bullshit.
Right.
Don't fix what's not broken.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I said good day.
But what? I said good day. What?
If Jonathan said drop the mic, he just drops the screen.
Now, if I'm trying to wrap my head around this because
there is no way to wrap your head around it.
This is a Photoshop job done by a fan account, but it was shared by the official Karrion Kross verified account on Facebook, had the blue check mark. And the post that accompanied it kind of sounded like a political post. Oh, doomsday's coming, something, vote for me. I don't know. Like, if she comes out and she's like, vote and pray, vote and pray, like, I'm just gonna be over it immediately. Yeah, don't fix what isn't broken. Why would you ever want to fuck this up? You know, you took a guy and you shot him right, as Steve said, you shot him right to the top of NXT. Now Vince got his eye on him because he's a good looking guy and he's got a good looking girl with him. And they bring him up to main event, and they have him do these matches on main event. And they don't do the entrance, they don't do the thing, they're not together. There's a concern that they're just going to do something dumb like this, or they're going to Mark Marrow Sable the whole thing, and then this guy is out on the street in 2 years, and she's, you know, belly flopping her way through the women's division like Sable did. Hopefully she's better wrestler than Sable. But the whole thing's kind of depressing, because if they really do take this dominant, weird, cult, supernatural-ish, spooky character that these two are portraying, and then they just turn him into, like, blue blood, you know, red-blooded American, whatever, Republican people. Yeah.
Oh my God, this is making me so angry right now.
I know. I'm gonna have
The fact that we're even having this conversation.
Yeah, here, I'm gonna
like what I don't understand what don't you like about it? What don't you like about it now the way it is? What is it that you don't like?
You know what it is? Because it's not a concept he came up with.
Yeah.
He didn't come up with this idea. So there can't be an idea that could be better than something he can come up with. So let's redo it.
No. This hopefully it's a mistake. Hopefully it's a mistake.
Yeah. Hopefully it's just a thing that they shared on Facebook to be funny,
or maybe they posted it just to see what kind of reaction, like people like us who are freaked out by the idea, because it's not necessary.
Whoever's watching the show from that company in New York or in Stamford or wherever it is.
It's not obviously a feedback thing, Steve, because people like us have been complaining for months about Eva Marie coming back, and that didn't stop anything.
No, now online.
This is a little different, though. I mean,
the game is so good now. Fucking, who cares?
I don't even understand what it is that they were like, oh, we got to bring Eva Marie back. Like, we're going to release all these people, but we're going to bring back Eva Marie.
That's the fucked up thing, is it all came in sequence, where it seems like they fired all these people. And no, didn't even seem like it. They literally fired all these people and then hired back some fucking jabroni that is barely trained and never got over. So it's insulting to those people that got released.
I don't think to this day she still actually physically wrestled a match.
No, because she's been avoiding
at all
matches. And then whenever Doudrop wins a match, she announces that Eva Marie has won the match. So she's
but I mean, even when she was there years ago or whatever, I don't think she actually. I think she was in tag matches, but she never actually completed a match. She had more wardrobe malfunctions.
Right. Yeah. No, she would always. They would have something go wrong, like the Nancy Kerrigan thing. Or what was it? Who was the one with the skate? Was it Oksana Bayul? No, I forget. Who was it with the skate? She kept pointing. This is the 1994 Winter Olympics that I'm talking about. Nobody knows.
Tonya Harding and Nancy.
Tonya Harding, and she's pointing at her skate. My skate.
My boot broke. Yes. To the Jurassic Park music. You're right.
Do you realize that if that moment was a person, it could fucking vote by now? That's how old of a reference I just made.
Yeah. I'm gonna say
She always had some problem. Her boot.
It was her boot. Yep, her skate during the Olympics. You're right. She went up there, cried, and stuck her foot up in the air.
It all comes back around to wrestling, because Eva Marie started doing the Tonya Harding thing and a couple years ago. And
well, at least she didn't, take out somebody's leg or something.
You know what? Maybe that would have been interesting. But I mean, shit. Here we are with Eva Marie back in the good graces of the WWE, and Karrion Kross potentially getting moved up to the Raw main roster. So hold your breath. the fucking in your house. Or no, it's
Great American Bash is tonight. Yep.
And isn't that a 4-way for the NXT title?
Correct.
All right, so Karrion Kross is losing the belt tonight.
Steve, your buddy's not looking so hot.
Well, we knew he was getting called up. I mean,
I know.
So
he's gonna, if he loses that, as long as he doesn't get pinned. There's 4 people in the match.
He's not gonna get pinned.
Yeah, but is his loss then he's going to show up next week in this whole prestigious thing because now it's all for the better good or some shit like that? Ugh.
Could you imagine? What if he just comes out and he's like, "I want to talk to you folks about vaccination." Well, listen, this whole thing's bullshit.
So instead of storming the Capitol, we're going to storm the Titan Center?
Yes, we're storming Titan Towers. The only shot that's going in my ass is HGH and Jesus Christ, God damn it.
I can't.
It's 7:00. We should really go.
If Steve's going to let us have jobs next week now, I'm not sure.
Listen, if he kept me on after me and Ryan did that episode last week, I think our jobs are safe.
Oh, you guys did a great job, by the way.
I was
Thank
going
you
to
for
say,
holding it
I
down.
listened to that show in the car. I thought it was good.
Oh, good, great.
You guys held it down. You did a great job. I'm very
You guys
appreciative.
kept me awake in the car. Thank you.
Oh, good. Yeah, you're long. So Kat has been relocated. So that's good, which means we should get Eric on sometimes with her. And
I said, I know it's happening in August. He's still about 2 hours away from me, but
hey, August is fine, and then otherwise we'll see if he can come on the show. Ryan will be back next week. Hopefully we'll get Amanda and the chairman on board one of these days as well. And
Steve, what are you clicking?
Sorry, it's my computer.
all I heard was
Like, stop beating the mouse.
stop beating your meat over there, buddy.
You caught me.
It was
It's this fucking
seriously
computer. I
flipping
can't
through
take it
pictures
anymore.
of Alexa Bliss on his computer. That's what froze it up.
In her Freddy Krueger gear.
There you go.
She let him in.
Well, we'll let we all got to eat dinner. I think it's toward the top of the hour. Thank you for tuning in on this wacky weird show where we talked about 40-year-old pop culture references, all kinds of other.
And you're not even close to 40, but
Well, some of it was. Some of it we went back. Definitely 30-year-old references with that Tanya Harding thing. Oh shit, we went way back in time for a couple.
Why me?
why me? Exactly.
I remember watching that on TV.
Yep.
Live. True story. We'll talk about this some other time. I still like figure skating, but I used to be a big figure skating fan back when I was younger. Like, not Mark Hamill. The other guy, Hamill.
I know who you're talking
He
about.
did the fucking
wait, what?
backflip. The figure skater who would do the backflip.
Brian Boitano. Oh, Scott Hamilton. Scott Hamilton.
He was my fucking man. I used to watch all of figure skating. Like I saw those guys live. I went to like the
Ice
Capades after he came back from cancer. He did I saw one of his first backflips after he got back from cancer. I have an autographed picture somewhere that I spent my mom's money, hard-earned money on, but I have an autographed picture of that motherfucker from the Ice Capades.
Yep.
Thank you.
I have Syria Bonali too, because she was the only girl that could do it.
Oh, that's awesome. So, with our old pop culture references and our current wrestling talk, I hope you guys are enjoying the War Report. We'll be back next week, Tuesday, 6 p.m. on Eastern Time. We live stream our video version of the podcast on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitch. I think that's all of them that we live stream on. But you can also get the audio version on Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, or Google Podcasts. Just search for Tag Me a Date or the War Report. On social media, it's at Tag Me a Date, all one word, Tag Me a Date, no spaces. Same thing on YouTube. You type in Tag Me a Date into the search bar. You can hit subscribe and hit the bell to know when we go live or when we upload a new video. And we already got your audio version. That'll come out maybe an hour or so after this live stream ends. And then it'll go right into your podcast app of choice as long as you subscribe to the stream. Follow us on social media stuff. Follow us all over the place on the internet. And, of course, tell your friends. If you're enjoying the show, share it with your friends. We're looking for more people to join this community. We added some new people to our private Facebook group. It's a public group, but you have to request to get in. So if you find the War Report group on there, you'll see all of our smiling faces, and then you can be a part of it. And you can get our live stream and all that good stuff. So with all that being said, we'll see you next week, 6 p.m. on Eastern time for another edition of the War Report. Thank you guys for tuning in.